countries and the latest on the trade wars between the United States and China. And it looks like tropical moisture is finally leaving the borderland. Tirza.
Well, with one more potentially stormy night in the forecast period, the borderland will begin to dry out as soon as tomorrow. Coming up, I will have more details about what that means for your weekend plans. KTSM 9 Plus starts right now.
You're watching KTSM 9 News First at 4. Starts right now.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 Plus, our digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We're actually beginning with breaking news. El Paso Fire successfully put out a house fire in West El Paso. This viewer video that you're about to see in just a second came in just into our newsroom moments ago. The home engulfed in flames. Our KTSM newsroom is working now to get more information, but an El Paso Fire Department spokesperson tells us the call came in around 2:46 this afternoon and was quickly upgraded to a condition 2 fire, meaning greater response was needed. The fire was knocked down within just 20 minutes. No injuries were reported. Fire investigators are now looking into the cause of this fire. Well, big news for the borderland. Meta, the company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp, is bringing a massive AI data center to El Paso, a $1.5 billion project that officials say will bring jobs and long-term growth on the region. KTSM 9 News' Diana Castillo joins us live right now from the future site in Northeast El Paso. Diana, what have you learned?
Well, Monica, we are near the Stan Roberts Senior Avenue off Highway 54, where the initial site work is already underway. Now, it may not look like much right now, but by 2028, this site is supposed to be Meta's new data center. Now, Meta says the project will cost more than $1.5 billion and will support about 1,800 construction jobs. And once operational, it is expected to create around 100 full-time positions. Now, officials confirm the data center will run on 100% renewable energy, and El Paso Electric CEO Kelly Tomlin says Meta is paying its full cost of service, meaning no rate impacts for existing customers. Now, as for other environmental impacts, the company says the center will use closed-loop cooling system, which is designed to limit water waste and restore 200% of the water it consumes back into local watershed. Now, city records show that the land deal was approved in 2023 when Meta purchased more than 1,000 acres in Northeast El Paso. Now, this will actually be Meta's third location in Texas. El Paso will be joining established data centers in Fort Worth and Temple. In Northeast El Paso, Diana Castillo, KTSM 9 News.
Diana, thank you so much. In fact, our Jesus Baltazar will also join Diana a little later in this newscast for team coverage, where he will be going into details on the job opportunities that this will be providing and what work will be done at the facility once it's built and open. Well, a man is facing first-degree murder after he shot another man on Monday night, all allegedly over an ex-girlfriend. According to court documents obtained by KTSM, 41-year-old Edgar Perez is facing the charge after shooting and killing Jesus Alba de la Cruz at a home in Sunland Park. According to those documents, officers responded to Palma Drive on Monday night regarding a victim who had been shot. Perez arrived at the home and started fighting de la Cruz, first with a machete-like knife, and then he took out a rifle from his car. The confrontation was all caught on surveillance video. De la Cruz then swung at Perez, who shot the victim twice. Perez is then seen in the video driving away from the scene. According to those documents, Perez was placed in custody soon after, but refused to speak with police. And an 18-year-old is now facing charges after shooting his 15-year-old friend as they were planning on stealing firearms from a home in Las Cruces earlier this week. According to court documents we obtained, Evan Gabriel Martinez, who is currently on probation, is facing attempted murder and tampering with evidence after shooting Elijah Donovan Herrera and trying to conceal messages on social media regarding this incident. Officers responded to the area of Dos Vistas and Arena for an assault. That's where they found found Herrera had been shot. Police then found out through text messages that the two were planning to meet up to burglarize and steal firearms from a home. Instead, Martinez met with Herrera in an alleyway and shot him in the back. The documents go on to say Herrera told police that it was intentional and that Martinez left him lying on the floor while he cried for help. Herrera is expected to recover. Martinez is currently held without bond at the Doña Ana County Detention Center. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break from all of these today's headlines and take a look outside. Not a single cloud in sight. We're definitely seeing those blue skies, and I mean, it looks like we're drying out. But to be sure, let's go ahead and send things over to forecaster Tirza Ortiz. Tirza, okay, what can you tell us? Are we dry? Because I felt like yesterday we had less clouds, but you said we still had some moisture. We felt it. And today, I don't know. I haven't really checked.
Well, Monica, I will tell you what, we still actually do have moisture hanging out. I know, believe it or not. We look outside, beautiful day. It's in that evening hours, that time when we get into our overnight hours that we start to see those storms begin to accumulate. We still have those storm chances hanging around for one more evening. After today, though, you're correct. We are drying out. We're looking at plenty of sunny days ahead. Actually, our forecast coming up is quite boring, which is great, though, because we've had such an active weekend and beginning of the work week. We are looking at sunny days, lighter winds, and more average temperatures. So it will finally feel like fall in the borderland. Taking a look at our radar, really across this big portion of area, we are looking at just drier conditions. But like I said, it is later on tonight that we see those storm chances again. We know last night Doña Ana County did see some severe thunderstorms for just a little bit in the evening hours around 10 p.m. It's looking like we will see similar conditions tonight, but we do have the green light for our car wash forecast for the next 3 days, and we are dropping very close to average temperatures, even going below that for the weekend. I'll have more details in our full 9-day forecast, but I'm going to send it back to you, Monica.
Tirza, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at our traffic cameras. And this is what it looks like. US 54 Van Buren. Things are actually moving quite nicely. Not a lot of traffic to talk about in Northeast El Paso. In this particular part of the city, everything is looking quite nice. Well, in national news, as a new November 1st tariff deadline approaches, U.S.-Chinese trade tensions are heating up. In today's Political Minute, News Nation's Blake Berman breaks down the latest U.S.-Chinese trade developments.
A commerce counterblow between the U.S. and China. I'm Blake Berman, host of The Hill on News Nation. Soybeans at the center of the trade disputes between the two countries. President Trump saying Tuesday, quote, "I believe that China purposefully not buying our soybeans and causing difficulty for our soybean farmers is an economically hostile act. We are considering," the president says, "terminating business with China having to do with cooking oil and other elements of trade as retribution." According to a Chinese state-run newspaper, China's foreign ministry spokesperson responding Wednesday, calling for both sides to resolve their differences. Now, China has historically been the biggest purchaser of U.S. soybeans, buying more than $12 billion worth just last year alone. Purchases of American soybeans, though, have been in decline since October 2024, dropping to zero this spring. I'm Blake Berman, and this is the News Nation Political Minute.
Well, coming up, a man was arrested after he was caught illegally dumping large rocks in the desert. We're going to go over your thoughts on the matter and the warning that the sheriff's office is issuing. Thank you so much.
at home, only at El Paso Children's Hospital.
Well, in today's In the Comments segment, a 21-year-old man was recently arrested after he dumped 21 cement rocks in a desert area. Now, this is Carlos Moreno that you're about to see on your screen, and according to El Paso County Sheriff's Office, deputies responded to Farnborough Street about a report of illegal dumping. The investigation revealed that Moreno had unlawfully dumped 21 cement rocks, and he was found at a nearby construction site. Moreno was then arrested and charged with illegal dumping. He was booked into the El Paso County Detention Facility with a $1,500 bond. Now, we did share the story all over our social media pages, and a lot of you had a lot of thoughts you wanted to share. So we're going to begin with Urban Alvarado, who jokingly writes, "For all we know, he could be donating them." Meanwhile, Estela Caller writes, "At least it wasn't on the highway, but the law is the law." And Arthur Chavez sarcastically shares, "Oh wow, of all the crimes that happened, this arrest made me feel so safe. I might start leaving my house unlocked at night." And although a lot of you did make some jokes on this arrest, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office does say they don't. The office tells KTSM in a statement that the Sheriff's Office has zero tolerance for illegal dumping. So to read the complete statement, go ahead and head on over to KTSM.com. And here at KTSM, of course, we value all of your opinions, and we do want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Well, the C-Tech is taking place right now in Japan. Up next, Rich DeMiro takes us behind the scenes to see the latest in AI and robotics. This is KTSM 9+.
All that costs over $200 everywhere else. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical. Easy.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the El Paso Zoo is inviting everyone, well, mainly adults, to the community to enjoy a beer at the Brew at the Zoo event from 7 p.m. to midnight this Saturday. So Brew at the Zoo will be featuring over 100 varieties of ales, lagers, IPAs, and other craft breweries. According to the zoo, guests can enjoy live bands, DJs, carnival games, and select animal exhibits. Just a reminder, guests do have to be over 21 years and have a valid ID to enter. That sounds fun.
That does sound like a lot of fun.
Beer, though.
Well, I mean, carnival and games, you don't have to drink the beer,
true.
silly Willy. Also, you're going to give Dr. Seuss a run for his money. Beer with the Brew at the zoo. I don't think he could have done it any better, Monica. You really have a way with words with that one. I was thinking about it.
You're like, what is she saying?
I was like, that was really good. But it looks like a lot of fun.
It does. And is it going to rain on us?
You know what? I do have good news. Often I come with bad news, but not for this afternoon. Good news, Borderland, we are drying out. If you're heading out to the zoo for the weekend, you are in luck because we're looking at beautiful conditions, plenty of sunshine, and finally those fall temperatures are hanging around for a little bit longer than we're used to. We are currently tracking, though, some stronger wind gusts moving 22 miles per hour in El Paso, 22 over in Las Cruces as well. Very high over in Tierra at 32 with Alamogordo at 30 miles per hour. Now, as for our conditions in El Paso, we're looking pretty picture perfect. 86 degrees, light winds moving at 14 miles per hour, and that humidity is on the lower end, around 36%. This time yesterday, we were upwards of 50%. Over in Las Cruces, very similar conditions, 84 degrees, light winds at 17 miles per hour. And again, those gusts are really starting to make their way through the region, 22 miles per hour, and that really is going to be the major weather event that we are looking at as we head into the weekend, mainly those windy conditions at times and some gusts. For tonight, we're dropping down to those low 60s in El Paso. Over in Juarez, 58 degrees over in Las Cruces with Deming at 51. Now, before we dry out, we do still have one more chance of looking at some overnight showers and potentially storms. They will be isolated, but they are looking to hit around 9 p.m. all the way up until midnight. Again, over in El Paso, we do have these chances. They are pretty slight, but it can get gusty at times. Very similar over in Las Cruces, 58 degrees is going to be that low, and we're still looking at those isolated showers and storms, very similar to what Doña Ana County saw last night. For tomorrow, though, plenty of sunshine, really nothing to worry about. We are drying out and we're looking at really ideal conditions. Same thing for Las Cruces, 80 degrees, plenty of sunshine and those calmer winds. Taking a look at the rest of the region, 69 over in Ruidoso, 59 in Cloudcroft, and 67 over in Silver City. Checking out our allergens because we are drying out, we're noticing that number go back up. We have a 4 for Thursday and 6 for your Friday and Saturday. Now looking at the rest of your 9 hours and how to plan out the rest of your evening. By the time we get to 8 p.m., we're looking to be down 81 degrees, mostly clear skies, 74 by the time we get to 11 p.m. And then by the time we are looking at 2 a.m., looking like mostly clear, 71 degrees. So not too bad as we're getting ready to enter our Thursday morning. Now, I would say our forecast is looking pretty good. Really nothing major to point out. Again, that real last big weather event is potentially tonight, where we can be looking at those storms. Really, we're looking at very calm winds, very light winds as we move to the weekend. Plenty of sunshine for your Saturday and Sunday. So if you have any plans to be outdoors, really this is a great time. We'll be around average temperatures, a little bit warmer for your Monday, but then we drop right back down into those seasonable average conditions as we get through the rest of this forecasting period. Don't go anywhere though. We have more news coming up. You're watching KTSM.
KTSA.com. I'm Carla Draxler. You're watching KTSM 9 News, putting local first.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, one of Asia's largest technology shows is happening this week. Rich DeMiro is in Tokyo with a deeper look at the convention in today's Rich on Tech.
CTech is one of Japan's largest tech shows. This year's theme is Innovation for All.
It's so cute.
Show organizers brought me to Tokyo to check it out.
We innovate every business processes with AI.
At NEC, an AI-powered camera that recognizes faces even in challenging lighting conditions. Plus a system that uses AI to analyze and grade your driving.
So I'm looking through here, and this is directly displaying the image on my retina, which they say is safe.
At TDK, I tried on a new laser optical module.
The feature is you can decrease the power consumption significantly. So because of that, the smart glasses can be more stylish than the conventional one.
And over at IPA, a government agency promoting Japan's digital future.
This is a first. I've seen lots of virtual reality headsets at trade shows, but Apple Vision Pro in the wild, it's powering this immersive experience at IPA.
Visitors experience life in 2050, where physical and virtual worlds merge.
It's not a science fiction. It's the society just one or three steps forward.
At Mitsubishi, a device called Emiko uses AI and sensors to improve office productivity.
This little device is packed with sensors to monitor my attention, so it can adjust things like the lighting or even the air conditioning. And in the worst case scenario, it might have a robot come over and bring me a coffee.
At JVC Kenwood, an AI earbud with a built-in camera can help you remember names and more.
It's very useful because you can ask the name, like who's this person's name, and then the earphone is going to give you the audible response.
And finally, the cutest robot on display goes to Sharp.
Pocketomo means pocket-sized friends.
It's a palm-sized companion with a camera, mic, and speaker that can chat with you. It remembers conversations, places, and the moments you share.
All right, that's very interesting. And that was Rich DeMiro reporting. Don't go anywhere. We still have another half hour of news and weather coming up right after this break.
$6.99 or no interest for 5 years. Shop more holiday deals in store and online. Only
Welcome back to KTSM 9 Plus, our digital newscast. I'm Monica Cortez. We're going to begin with updates on a couple of stories that we've been covering. We're going to start off with a man who is facing first-degree murder after he shot another man on Monday night, all allegedly over an ex-girlfriend. According to court documents obtained by KTSM, 41-year-old Edgar Perez is facing the charge after shooting and killing Jesus Alba de la Cruz at a home in Salem Park. According to court documents, officers responded to Palma Drive on Monday night regarding a victim who had been shot. According to the documents, Perez arrived at the home and started fighting de la Cruz, first with a machete-like knife and then took out a rifle from his car. The confrontation all caught on surveillance video. De la Cruz then swung at Perez, who shot the victim twice. Perez is then seen in the video driving away from the scene. And according to court documents, Perez was placed in custody soon after, but refused to speak with police. And an 18-year-old is now facing charges after shooting his 15-year-old friend as they were planning on stealing firearms from a home in Las Cruces earlier this week. According to court documents we obtained, Evan Gabriel Martinez, who is currently on probation, is facing attempted murder and tampering with evidence after shooting Elijah Donovan Herrera and trying to conceal messages on social media regarding the incident. Officers responded to the area of Dos Vistas and Arena for an assault. That's where they found Herrera had been shot. Police then found out through text messages that the two were planning to meet up to burglarize and steal firearms from a home. Instead, Martinez met with Herrera in an alleyway and shot him in the back. The documents go on to say Herrera told police that it was intentional and that Martinez left him lying on the floor while he cried for help. Herrera is expected to recover. Martinez is currently being held without bond at the Doña Ana County Detention Center. And as we first told you on KTSM 9 News today, a 49-year-old woman is dead after a shooting in Far East El Paso. This is all according to El Paso police. The incident happened at about 1 a.m. on Tierra Rica Drive. Police say a 23-year-old man saw the woman outside of his home in his trash. Police say that led to an altercation. When the man shot the woman with the pistol, the woman was taken to a hospital where she later died. KTSM spoke with police about this incident earlier today, and this is what we know so far.
No, this individual is being detained, questioned, but no arrests have been made at this time. At this time, this appears to be an isolated incident, and we don't believe that the public is in danger.
Police say the incident remains under investigation by El Paso Police's Crimes Against Persons unit. Anyone with information is being asked to call Crime Stoppers of El Paso. That number right there on your screen. Well, in case you missed it, there's nearly $5,000 worth of damage to grass and infrastructure at Lincoln Park, all from drivers performing donuts or what they're called burnouts on the grass a couple of nights ago. Lincoln Park, a long-standing community staple and source of pride, is located right under the Spaghetti Bowl, and the damage is igniting public outrage. Our KTSM 9 News reporter Jesus Baltazar has this story.
Everything you see here at the park is done from the heart by people here in El Paso, and it's very unfortunate that this kind of disrespect and these things happen.
Gonzalez says Lincoln Park is different to any other, a canvas of Mexican-American history and experience in El Paso, a venue now for community events and gatherings, as well as a tourist destination, and a pride for El Pasoans.
We've been here at the park over 20 years, working on improving and working on the murals and all the amenities here at the park. And to have somebody have such a disrespectful act and destroy something that means so much to so many people in the community.
City of El Paso officials saying the damage to Lincoln Park could even greatly exceed $5,000 if the sprinkler and irrigation system were also damaged. A local car club, Texas Legions, singled out by witnesses as being responsible for the damage, issuing a statement in response, saying they found the individuals who did the damage and that they are facing consequences. The statement reading in part, quote, "On the team's behalf, as well as the two that caused the damages, we want to say we are truly sorry. We never wanted to let our community down or bring any negativity to something built on respect and love for our rights and each other." End quote. The statement would go on to read that the individuals involved will be, quote, helping with the damages.
And that was Jesus Baltazar reporting. Now the club did issue the following statement responding to allegations that they only took responsibility after being singled out. They acknowledged that they were present Sunday night but left, and that they were unaware who caused the damage until the videos surfaced online. Well, switching gears now, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about weather, because that's our other top headline for El Paso today. So this is what we're seeing. Clear skies. I mean, anyone seeing this would think, oh no, there's like a little cloud right there. Anyone would think like, oh, we're clearing out, but our Tirza Ortiz says not so fast.
Leave it to you, Monica, to point out the little
that's not true. There's a little cloud right there.
Actually, hold up. I see a cloud. Well, we are drying out, which is great news. We had such an active weekend of rain and storms. It was beautiful, but you know what? I personally did miss those blue skies and these sunny conditions, and it looks like we're getting a full forecast of very similar conditions. Taking a look at radar at the moment, really not a lot happening. Some moisture still hanging around Albuquerque in the New Mexico area, but over here in the Borderland region, really not a whole lot to talk about, at least not for right now. Later on in the overnight hours, we do have chances of once again looking at those thunderstorms very similar to what was produced last night over in Doña Ana County. But taking a look ahead, we are just looking at those sunny days back here in the region, those very light winds blowing through our area, and of course the return of fall temperatures, more seasonably average temperatures than what we've been noticing. We are going to be hitting very low 80s, upper 70s as we continue to move through the weekend, but we do have the green light. So I'm happy to say if you want to wash your car, I would say this weekend is a great time to do it, but I will have more details in our full 9-day forecast of what to expect. I'll go ahead and send it back to you, Monica.
Tirza, thank you so much. Well, Gina Hinojosa, a state representative from Austin, has announced she is running for governor. She enters a crowded Democratic primary full of diverse candidates, but all with the same goal, defeating Governor Greg Abbott at the polls. Dylan McKim breaks down the Democratic field and what the governor is saying about his competition.
After nearly a decade in the State House, State Representative Gina Hinojosa is running for governor. A harsh critic of Governor Greg Abbott, she said she will focus on affordability, education, and health care issues.
We need a governor of Texas who prioritizes the needs of Texans as opposed to the billionaire class, which is what we're seeing Governor Greg Abbott do.
Abbott is running for his fourth consecutive term. A spokesperson in his campaign issued a statement Wednesday morning saying, quote, Texans deserve a governor who will continue to secure the border, fight for safer communities, and uphold family values, not someone who supports failed, radical policies that hurt hardworking Texans. Hinojosa joins a crowded Democratic field, all hoping to take down Abbott. They include Bobby Cole, a retired firefighter and farmer who hopes being a political outsider will work to his advantage.
With my background, being from rural Texas, working class, I believe I can resonate with a lot of voters in rural Texas.
Then there's Andrew White, an entrepreneur and son of former Texas Governor Mark White. He finished second in the 2018 Democratic primary. This time around, he's focusing on attracting independent voters.
The secret to being successful in business translates into government as well. You have to be a team builder. Nothing big, nothing important happens from one extreme to the other.
And Nick Pappas, a retired U.S. Marine who says he's been traveling around the state to get people to go out and vote.
I don't look at us as competing against each other. We're all running against Abbott.
The Texas Democratic Party chair, Kendall Scudder, views the contested primary as a good thing, hoping it will lead to larger voter turnouts.
I hope that they do spend lots of money turning Democrats out to vote and making sure that we're contacting in communities where they're traditionally overlooked.
In Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
And less than 24 hours ago into her bid, Hinojosa announced that she has endorsements from 7 Texas Congress members, 4 state senators, and 33 of her Texas House colleagues. Well, a federal district judge put out a temporary injunction Tuesday night preventing the University of Texas system from enforcing a state law prohibiting speech on campus during certain times. The law went into effect last month and sought to limit expressive activities between 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., among other activities, including limits on end-of-term speakers and amplified sound. Now, the lawmakers behind the bill referenced the 2024 pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus campuses nationwide, including the UT Austin campus, for disruptions. Plaintiffs noted that the First Amendment protects free speech on campuses at all times. And from our D.C. newsroom, while the Senate continues voting on government funding, the House of Representatives have been out of session nearly for 4 weeks. Democrats and even some Republicans are demanding that the Speaker call lawmakers back to D.C. Washington correspondent Maddie Beer-Temple has the latest.
Swear her in! Democrats are demanding House Speaker Mike Johnson swear in Arizona's Democratic Congresswoman-elect Adelita Grijalva.
What's holding it back? Is it the Epstein files?
Democrats accuse Johnson of not calling the House back into session and swearing in Grijalva to avoid an effort to force a vote on the Epstein files.
Let's be clear. Speaker Johnson knows that I will be the 218th signature on the discharge petition for the Epstein files.
Johnson pushed back.
We're for all of it coming out as soon as possible. That hasn't been scheduled because we haven't had that session yet.
The House hasn't been in session nearly 4 weeks after passing Republican spending bill September 19th. Republicans say the ball is now in the Senate's court, but some in the party do think the House should come back.
I have the House calendar right here. October 9th canceled, October 10th canceled. And then presumably this entire week is canceled.
California Republican Congressman Kevin Kiley says the House should be in D.C., holding oversight hearings, working on the farm bill, or trying to end the shutdown.
These are days in which we had important work to do.
And even if the Senate does pass Republicans' 7-week funding measure, there's now less time to work on appropriations bills.
And we've now burned 3 of the weeks that we could have actually been working on those.
Johnson blames Senate Democrats.
We've got to get the lights turned back on, and Chuck Schumer and the Democrats need to vote to do that.
They have repeatedly rejected Republicans' bill over health care demands. In Washington, I'm Maddie Beer-Temple.
Well, the El Paso Locomotives are winding down their end of the season, coming up when their last home match will be. Then several airports in the U.S. refused to play a video by Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem blaming the government shutdown on Democratic lawmakers. We're going to read over your comments on this topic. Thank you so much for tuning in to KTSM 9 Plus, always putting local first. The KTSM 9 Plus streaming app is finally here, and it is absolutely free. And downloading it is super simple. On your Roku remote, hit the home button, head to the streaming store, search for KTSM 9 Plus, and click download. Once installed, you'll have instant access to live newscasts, weather updates, and exclusive local digital
I'm Isela Casas. You're watching KTSM 9 News, putting local first.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, the El Paso Locomotive are winding down to end of their season, and there's still a chance for you to actually make it out to a soccer match and catch all the action at Southwest University Park. Their final home game is this Saturday, and the stakes couldn't be higher. El Paso sits in 4th place in the USL Championship Western Conference standings, and they're inching closer to clinching a playoff spot. Clinching a spot in these next 2 games means we'll actually get a postseason soccer here in the Sun City. That's actually kind of exciting. I do hear from our sports director that the Locomotive are doing actually really good this year.
They are, which is really exciting. I still haven't made it out, though, to a game this season. Which,
this weekend.
I mean, this weekend, if I'm potentially doing weather live from the field, then you'll know that I did go out. Unfortunately, I do work the weekends. But Monica, you could go for the both of us.
I will be there, and I'll have you in spirit.
That's all I could ask for. But you know what, fans that do head out, you're looking at beautiful conditions. It looks like this weekend is really a perfect time to go out and enjoy all the activities that are going on. Currently, though, right now, the main headline that we'll be looking at for today, tomorrow, even for our Saturday, is some light winds, potentially even a gusty during some times. 22 mile per hour currently here in El Paso, 21 over in Las Cruces, quite high over in TRC and Alamogordo, both in those low 30s, and then 21 over in Deming. But for right now in El Paso, some other conditions happening. We're a little warmer than average temperatures at this time, 86 degrees, 14 mile per hour winds, but the humidity is on the lower end at 36%. For Las Cruces, slightly cooler, 84 degrees, 60 mile per hour winds, and humidity also on the lower end at 35%. Now for tonight, we are going to be dropping down to those low 60s here in El Paso and over in Juarez, 58 over in Las Cruces, TRC and Alamogordo both at 60, with Deming at 51 degrees. For tonight, we still have remnant moisture hanging on just for a little bit longer. Tonight should be the last night, though, that we have storms on the radar. They're currently very slight, though. The chances of seeing anything populate here in El Paso is around 20%. We are looking at isolated showers and storms potentially developing from 9 p.m. all the way through midnight. After that, very calm conditions, potentially gusty at times, but then after that, as we get into our Thursday, we are looking at very calm winds to get into the weekend. For Las Cruces, those chances are a little bit stronger, so looking at the isolated showers and storms, very similar to what we had last night, developing later on in the evening. For tomorrow, we'll be in the low 80s. We're looking at very sunny conditions. This is when we begin to dry out, so that is really great news. For Las Cruces, 80 degrees will be that high, sunny as well, and very calm winds as we continue to inch closer to our Saturday and Sunday. Now for our highs across the rest of the region, Ruidoso, we're looking at 69 degrees, 59 over in Cloudcroft, 67 over in Silver City, with Deming at 77 degrees. Our allergens are going up ever so slightly. We're looking at a 4 for Thursday and 6 for your Friday and your Saturday. Let's go ahead and take a look at the board, though, for the rest of the 9 hours and what to expect. We are looking to be down to 84 degrees by the time we get to 7 p.m. By we get to 9 p.m., we're still looking at that cloud cover beginning to develop, really creating a nice partly cloudy blanket, 77 degrees, and then we're down to 72 degrees by the time we get to our 1 a.m. hour. Now, once we start to clear the way, looking closer to next week, really just across the board, we're looking at mostly sunny skies to sunny conditions. I would really just say it's not very active, which is great news. We're also looking at average temperatures as we continue to move through the rest of October. Calm to light winds for your Thursday and Friday. We clear the way for our Saturday and Sunday, leaving really ideal conditions for any outdoor activities. And then as we continue to move into the rest of our work week, we're looking at Monday being the warmest day, around 83 degrees, before we drop back down to those low 80s and upper 70s for the rest of the forecasting period. Monica, back to you.
Tirza, thank you so much. Let's go ahead and send you outside using our tech stock cameras. This is Spur 601, and here it looks another street. I'm not too sure what Ref 21 is, but we're looking at I-10 at Americas, and you can see we do have a little bit of congestion, but nothing really to slow us down. US 54, RM 35, not too bad. Well, in today's In the Comments segment, several airports across the country will not be playing a video that features Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem blaming the government shutdown on Democrats. Several airports have refused the TSA's request to play a Department of Homeland Security video of Noem warning about potential changes to airport operations due to staffing limitations and TSA workers not receiving pay during the shutdown. Officials at some of these airports are quoting the Hatch Act, which prohibits the use of public assets for political purposes and messaging. We shared this story to our social media accounts, and many of you have lots of thoughts you wanted to share. We're going to start off with Thomas Marsden, who writes, "I applaud the airport's management on this. They clearly are experiencing some undesirable effects of the shutdown, but they stood up and didn't bend a knee to irregular and illegal demand from a government official." Meanwhile, Eric Rex writes, "From what I'm hearing, it's only the airports in predominantly Democratic-run cities. There's a list of them." And Fernando Delgado shares the El Paso airport had it on this past Sunday. And first at 4, City Rep Chris Canales shared a statement to his social media account about this topic, writing in part, quote, "The city of El Paso has not shown, is not showing, and will not be showing the blatantly partisan Kristi Noem video in question on airport-controlled screens anywhere within the terminal at the El Paso International Airport." In response, TSA brought in their own standalone monitor in their own federally controlled area, and what they display on that is unfortunately out of city control, end quote. And here at KTSM, of course, we value your opinion and we want to hear more from you. So make sure you're following us on all of our social media platforms to keep in touch with us through the comments. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. This is KTSM 9+.
We're here today with Dr. Jesus Bayaza, an obstetrician gynecologist at Del Sol Medical Center. Dr. Bayaza, let's talk about an annual well woman exam and why it's so important.
Yeah, the annual exams are a key part on preventive medicine for women. And those annual exams are an opportunity to discuss problems that the patient is recently experiencing. We do tests as pap smear, breast exams, mammograms, everything that is a preventive medicine that definitely helps to prevent complications.
And as for those exams, when should women start getting them and how do they change over time?
Yeah, you know, we recommend to start annual exams on late teens and early 20s. Those visits look different, depends on the age group. Early on, we can focus on menstrual health and contraception. Later, we can focus on pap smear, screening tests, mammograms.
And that's all great stuff. Doctor, thank you very much. Of course, for more, you can always visit LasPalmasDelSolHealthcare.com.
Wellness Wednesday, sponsored by Las Palmas del Sol Healthcare. station that puts local first. Sponsored by Las Palmas del Sol Healthcare.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, so I have a confession to make. I have these random moments in my life where I'm just stuck somewhere and you kind of like timestamp that moment. So for me, it was last night. I opened my door to go outside and I just feel that breeze and I'm like, is this fall? It was like so weird. So I like that I see that 63-degree mark right there. It's kind of nice.
It is kind of nice. We are cooler, and you're right, Monica, you could definitely feel it, especially when you're so used to those warmer temperatures and the humidity. It was a beautiful evening here in El Paso, over in Las Cruces and around Doña Ana County. A little bit on the stormier end. We were looking at those conditions really start to develop with the thunderstorms. We do have chances for tonight, as well as for Las Cruces, those isolated storms and showers that can get gusty. But of course, I will have more details in our full 9-day forecast just coming up in a little bit.
I know, Tirza, so stick around because she and I are here with 9 News Now, and it's coming up in just a few minutes.